back on topic. All right, guys, I'm glad that we touched upon a little bit about relationships, but really what this is all about today is having a brotherhood. And I think that this may be the most important tip I can give most guys out there. Like, look, I'm in quite a few Facebook groups that have saved my life. I mean, one I want to shout out Mark's Brotherhood because that has really his group has saved my butt too, and not only Wes's community but just being having that tribe where you know that these are good dudes. Like James is a good dude. I honestly, guys, it's very rare that I meet someone that has uh, good integrity and actually follows through. You know what I mean? So many people nowadays just don't have that. And
Right.
and
I
I will
agree.
say that James has integrity, and really what I want to say to all of you is if you want to find some buddies to hang out with, make sure that they have good habits, because if they don't have the best habits, then it's kind of harsh, but I think you should cut them out.
Yeah, definitely. They'll definitely hold you back, hold you down, not feed you with the best, with their best foot forward. You know what I mean? Like you said, that brotherhood is definitely necessary. I mean, definitely speaking on Mike Groskoff, his uh his brotherhood of his little mental awareness classes that he hosts um every day, different times, but that is what that was a big brotherhood group environment of men in one room on Zoom. That definitely helped me out of my life and my growth, and still to this day is there for me to reach out and share, and not even share just because share negative things and share good things. You know what I mean? The wins in our life. You know what I mean? Because we feel like if one win, we all win, and so you know what I mean. That's another aspect of brotherhood that should be like pointed out. You know what I mean? Like it's not all about just the individuals. Is who you doing it for? You know what I mean? Got to be doing it for somebody. So brotherhoods are necessary for sure. I definitely want to have my own little brotherhood. I know what's his name? Bedros. He does like a warrior type style where people come to his camp and go through this vigorous um program, where they eventually, you know, bleed and sweat and cry with each other. You know what I mean? And after the program, you're a better man for it. And then going through that program, you build a brotherhood for sure. So I definitely want to do like that, something similar in my own environment. So yeah, if you ain't in one, definitely get in one. Find a group of men that will hold you to a higher standard, and make sure you're not the one holding everybody else to that high standard.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's when yeah, now that you mention it, James, I that's something that I continuously think about all the time. Actually, I think of ways of how I can just level up in every area of my life, in health, wealth, relationships, and fitness. And
Right.
I think that's really the key, right? That everyone really wants to do. And here's what I'll say about that, guys. You're gonna want to find people to hang out with in every area of your life. Like, I'm gonna tell you from experience, most guys out there, if not like all guys I've met, at least that I know of in my family, they think that me teaching pickup is weird. And
Really?
yeah, they think it's weird. They think it's like, Adam, you should just know how to do that.
Oh, not
Yeah.
at all. That's not
Yeah.
just like human nature. Like, I mean, it's
And
human nature, like be yourself, and then you just, learn through trial and error, but you still learning. It's still a practice. It's still something you repetitively do and get better at.
yeah, this is actually a more vulnerable Adam today. So all of my listeners got lucky. So they don't really hear a vulnerable Adam every day. But yeah, it's just like I've been questioned about why I give dating advice, and they're just thinking, Adam, we're like all married and we don't need that shit. And it's like, why not maintain that attraction and learn how you can keep that attraction alive, you know?
Definitely, yeah, definitely. I mean, it's like I hate the fact that, like, because the biggest thing used to be when women got married, they used to just stop wanting to look good and be sexy, and and really dress themselves up for their man, because they feel
That's
like they
part
are.
of that's part of the reason why I think I might have, that avoiding detachment or avoid attachment thing is because I know from being in a few LTRs that they do get complacent. They get fucking complacent.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna point out to any woman listening to my podcast right now. If any woman listening to my podcast comes across this episode, listen to me. You do not fucking get complacent in a relationship. Don't do that shit. If you do that shit, I'm telling you right now, that shit is gonna turn most guys off.
It's a turn off. Definitely, it is a turn off.
Huge turn off. If you look like you don't take care of yourself, you will get called out, and I'm not gonna hold back. I'm not gonna hold back. I've called out Emily. I have, but dude, I'm not gonna be a dick about it. I'll just say,
yeah,
hey,
facts are facts. The truth. I mean, the truth. Hopefully, once they have it, they can grow from those truth that you're telling them about it.
yeah. But anyways, again, total side tangent. Again, when guys, when you set those boundaries, right, and you hold her up to a higher level, that's not a bad thing. We're not manipulating women when you do that, as some people would say to me. No, that's not manipulation. You're simply helping her be a better version of her.
Right. Agreed.
So, anyways, I want to actually take another approach and circle around actually to talk about fitness for about like 10 minutes, because I actually touch upon fitness, dating, and even like masculinity, if you will. That's the whole message of my podcast, to basically enhance your mindset to higher levels in all areas of life, as fitness and dating and learning PUA or anything like that. But so with fitness, I think that the number one tip for me that has helped me in my life is to just make working out a daily habit, and don't be on a diet, because I released a podcast that basically says the word diet is like a means to an end. you don't want to say that word, because if you say that word, you are literally restricting yourself.
Yeah.
That means you want that food or anything that you crave. When you restrict yourself, you essentially make yourself want that even more.
Yeah, and like you're telling yourself it's temporary. It's not a life. It's not a lifestyle.
Yeah. And so, what do you think is a good way to develop more discipline in the fucking kitchen, dude? Because I think that that's a big one for a lot of people.
In the kitchen,
Yeah.
uh, I mean, for me, the biggest help is just buying exactly what you need. You know what I mean? Like buying meal prepping, buying exactly what you're gonna eat on those days. Like, don't stock up your kitchen. You know what I mean? Buy exactly what you need throughout the week or throughout the month or whatever it may be. So then you're not buying anything extra, or you look at something. You know what I mean? Like why would like you know what I mean? Like why why would you overindulge knowing that's your meal for tomorrow and then you won't have such and such for tomorrow, whatever it may be? Then you just throw it all off. So that's definitely one way that can help you stay strict on your diet, is buying accordingly to your daily meals that you know you're gonna have every day. Just this, just that. Um, Besides that, I mean, um, staying busy, not really like because I find a lot of eating come from boredom, and being bored and not really having nothing to do. So staying busy is definitely another thing that I would do to keep me from thinking about food. Um, and there was one more. Um, yeah, I mean, just writing down your goal and knowing that you have, being able to look at it every day, and knowing that you're holding yourself to that goal, that you want to reach that, and remember and remind yourself, you know why you're doing it. When you go to think about what it is you want, put that right on the fridge before you open it up and get you a snack or whatever. So those are some things that I would try myself or do if I feel like I'm don't have the discipline to stick to my diet, for sure.
Have you saw that thing called Icon Meals that Wes follows?
I was thinking about doing that too. That's another good one where you already have your meals planned out, prepped, and ready to go. And there's, like I said, there's nothing extra in your fridge but what you're gonna eat for that day or for that week or whatever.
Right. I'm gonna have to try that. But yeah. I mean, it's not bad for the price. But what I actually wanted to briefly touch upon, like, the actual workouts. And I personally think that working out is hands down the most important habit any man can develop on the face of this earth. Because, again, as I say in the intro, fitness is the gateway to discipline. If you can discipline yourself to just hit the gym, no excuses.
Mm-hmm.
But even also have the right eating habits on top of improving in relationships, you're a fucking badass.
Mm-hmm. Those are some core practices for sure that men definitely should be doing. I mean, the back in the days, we were so physically fit because we had to actually go out and hunt and get our own food, and it takes physical, muscle and endurance to be able to, scout out your food and hunt them down and all that type of stuff. And that's where we build our muscles. Now that we no longer have to do anything to get anything that we want, now you have to go and create or go and do something of physical, contribution to your body to give you that in which we, once had, so that's why I agree with you 100%. Fitness is definitely the biggest. I feel like it's like the biggest thing that can start all forms of discipline. You know what I mean? Like, first of all, it's like say you don't have a problem eating. You know what I mean? But you're just like a regular old skinny mini. Um, so you like, why do I need to go to the gym? I'm not overweight. You know what I mean? But it's like, to build discipline, you have to put yourself through something that you necessarily don't want to do, knowing it's going to be painful, knowing it's going to be hard, and then you have to do it. And then once you do it, you're not receiving any good feeling from it. It's all pain before and after. But the good feeling comes at a later gratification moment. You know what I mean? And that's what discipline is. It's putting yourself through things, discomfort, uncomfortableness that you don't want to do, but you will reap benefits later on down the road.
Right. Yeah, man. And I think that a brotherhood really just brings it all together. And this is what I think is so fucking key, is when you're going through difficulty in your wealth area, or in your relationships, or even in even at the gym, like your guy friends, your homies, if you will, like my homie James over there, right? He's gonna basically say, Adam, I know where you can improve, so let's improve. And then if James has something that he is going through in his relationships or anything like that, hey, he can check out my blogs. So and
Right, definitely. We both have platforms.
yeah, it's like an exchange of helping a brother out and looking out for each other. And I think that a brotherhood is the most important thing to really have. That's what this community has been teaching me. So
Definitely, because we can't do it by ourselves. And as much as we can go learn from a book and go learn everything in the world that there is to learn, we will never have a different perspective unless we open up and share and compare and just be vulnerable with another individual that has done, that's on your standard, your level, your your level of frequency, for sure.
yeah,
Because you don't want to go make a brotherhood with anybody. You know what I mean? Like, just because it's another brother or it's another person that's working out, that doesn't mean that's the brother you want to mesh with. You got to make sure, like you said, they have those high standards, they have those high morals, they don't fold and bend, they don't walk all over their non-negotiables. And you see that they've accomplished certain things and aspects in their life. Nobody's perfect. There's always room for growth, but like you said, that's where we come together as brothers. Iron sharpens iron. Not, you don't want to be like an iron sharpening some plastic. You know what I mean? Like, so.
right. Yeah, man. I see that picture behind you that says God. That's awesome. So, yeah, there it is. That the mighty one.
Yep, the mighty one God, the Lord speaks and calls the earth from sunrise to sunup. Psalms 51.
That's awesome. This touches upon something that I think I don't really talk enough about on my podcast, but I will start talking about it here in the near future, you guys. That is just being in tune with your spirit, and that's how I connect with what I call, quote unquote, God. But if there's any like atheists listening to my podcast, understand this. There is a purpose to why we're here, and that is the number one reason for the creation of the Masculine Mindset show. I say, you've got to discover your masculine purpose. If you don't, you are lost. You are lost.
Definitely.
Like, we see this all the time, dude. I even have conversations with people about this. That is, if you don't have purpose in your life, it's like you start getting depressed and you don't know where you're going. You don't have any direction, if you will. And when you have direction and you have clarity and you know where you're going, you don't hesitate, and you take bold action in the face of fear, and you look at fear in the face and you say, bitch, get the fuck out. You're not welcome here.
And it's a face to fear of other people's fears, because it's not really your fears. It's you know what I mean. And you I mean, unless you just say that it was a fear, and then in that moment you're crossing that path, you're crossing that bridge. But most of the time, when you just act, it's not fear. You know what I mean. You're not afraid of anything. But to other people looking in on it, they're afraid. So it's like, oh, you're doing something magnificent, because I don't see myself ever being able to do that.
Most people are scared shitless, dude. I'm sure there are people out there who are even like, I'm gonna be real with you. I have a few podcasts where I'm like, damn, Adam, you just came completely unpeeled and lost your shooter marble. and so what I want to say to you guys who are listening, understand that the reason I have a purpose to all my podcasts, and the purpose of those particular podcasts is, as I always say, know what you're truly capable of and control that part of you. Control that part of you that is like really, really, really dark, twisted, and psychotic, and kind of, in a way, demonic. So.
Because we all have it.
Yep.
But don't act like you don't. Some people act like they just so innocent and don't have no dark side. Never think about violence, or never think about manipulative ways and things like that. You know what I mean? But we all do. We all have it, whether we speak on it or not. It's again, like you said, it's controlling it. It's having that beast in you and then controlling it.
Yep. Yeah, dude, I think that's a great point to wrap on. I mean, we covered upon so many different topics. We talked about the Brotherhood, some relationships talk, being more vulnerable, and more importantly, we even touched upon fitness and just understanding that having brothers in all of these areas of your life can drastically improve your confidence, and you have like a form of self-entitlement when you have that all in place. You know what I mean? So
definitely. Like here today, having this meeting, this podcast that me and you having, wouldn't have happened without our brotherhood. I'm definitely hurt right now from my fitness journey. So having this brotherhood and having brothers reach out and saying, it's okay, I've been through it, you got this, heal up, giving all their positive words of wisdom and in spirit lifting me up and stuff. Um, and then tonight I'm going out to a pool hall and shooting some pool, and I'm sure I'll meet some girls and get in that realm. So that's like all three that we touched on is definitely things that we all go through on a day to day for sure.
Bro, go to that party and start singing Three Little Birds by Bob Marley.
Three little birds. I'm gonna have to look it up.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's a good song. So James, it was awesome having this interview with you. I look forward to more in the future, and more importantly, just you guys listening to my podcast. Understand that if you ever go through some shit, having a brotherhood is really what helps you get through it. Seriously, it has helped me tremendously. So.
Yeah, it's definitely a good thing for sure. Like you said, your brothers are living a high standardized life, and they're living a manner in which you also see yourself living and doing the same ways. And then everybody's different. Everybody's been through different things. So you reach out to your fellow brother, or you have many of them. You you want to ask them, tell them you want to get in a group, so you have multiple people to talk to, whatever it may be. And that's why the brotherhood is so big. You can pick out one person or go to the whole group and get many different opinions, or get the one opinion that you feel like that'll best suit your situation in the moment. But yeah, it was definitely awesome. Finally, glad we finally caught up with each other. We, us being so busy and have our own things going on, but
Yeah.
that's how it should be. You know what I mean? Staying
Yeah.
busy, getting it done,
Exactly.
but still eventually getting it done where we come together and get this knocked out. So,
Fuck yeah. No
I am.
excuses, man. No
Right.
excuses. That's what all of our mentors teach everyone. But more importantly, again, you guys, this is something that I've worked on my entire life. And even before I worked with coaches, when I got into fitness at, I want to say, 16 or 17 years old, I have managed to drop down to 7% body fat.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I think I only did 9%.
Yeah, it's hard to get to that point. So, and again, that goes without saying, you guys, I am here for you. The free masculinity call will be in the show notes. And, James, I honestly really appreciate this interview today. And if there are any people that even want to reach out to you, I will put your Instagram handle in the show notes so that they can follow you and see what you're up to. This is the Chizler, as I talked to him on that episode, How to Man Up. Go listen to that one too. That's a damn good episode.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, real quick. Right now, like I said, I'm hurt. I am a personal trainer. I could get you a program for your workout, program for your meal plan, and then I definitely will be your coach on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis to make sure you're staying on that high standard, and then you'll become part of this brotherhood. You know what I mean? But like I said, I'm hurt, so I'm not myself working out currently. I'm on a different journey of healing myself, so doing a lot more stretching and chiropractic, and I'm even going to try acupuncture. So once I am healed and I'm done with this book chapter in my life, that's just more knowledge that I have, to put on into my base as far as like injuries, because it's definitely things that happen. Not everybody goes through them, but it is even if it's not injury. Even with old age, you're just now less capable of doing what you once was in your young age. So with that injury, I'm now or will be equipped with that knowledge as well through my personal experience.
Exactly. And yeah, let's wrap up this podcast. I'm glad to have you back on, James. I'll see you guys next time. And remember, reach out to your friends after this podcast, because don't isolate. This is the one thing that I learned in my life years ago that you really should never do. Don't isolate. That's the biggest message of my podcast today. Go hang out with your buddies and have some fun.